Gary, it's so early. The focus on our conversation on Jeb's shifts slightly to what this could mean in the very near future for Jeb if he chooses to run. CBS 4's Jim DeFede joins us now. So first of all, Gary Nelson says that nobody's ever talked this way and then not gone on and run for his party's nomination for presidency. Do you see it that way too?
Yeah, I mean, whether he's exploring to run or not, I think it's just a euphemism. He's running. I mean, he's out there, he's doing the things that a candidate does. Whether or not he's doing the legal thing, in other words, he's crossing that threshold where he needs to start filing certain paperwork. He hasn't reached that yet, but yes, he's running.
What are the biggest hurdles that the former governor would face as a presidential candidate?
Well, look, let's talk about the negatives first and the positives. Right. The negatives are, you have a record as governor. They are now going to go through, the Democratic Party and his Republican challengers are going to go through every decision he made, everything that he did in his 8 years in office as governor. When you have that kind of a record, it can be kind of dicey sometimes. Also, after Bush left office, he got involved in some financial dealings. He was part of the Lehman Brothers before they went belly up on Wall Street. He's had other issues in terms of creating a private equity firm with outside investors. He's going to have to come clean on some of those issues. So there's a lot of things that they're going to start picking through.
What about his strengths as a GOP candidate?
Here's what I see with this election. I think this is going to be the theme that you're going to see for Republicans overall and why Jeb Bush is in such a good position. I think the theme going into 2016 is going to be competence. Able to run the government well. Whether it's the VA scandal or any of the other scandals, IRS, go through the list. We really are looking for Washington is competence. People who can run the government and not have it screw up. That's why governors have been so important in terms of the GOP talking about who they're going to nominate for their candidate for president. That's why you've seen Rick Perry in Texas, Kasich in Ohio, Jindal in Louisiana, Walker in Wisconsin. But all of those get blown away by Jeb Bush because of his standing. Jeb Bush gets to say, I was the chief executive. I ran a state. I ran it well for 8 years. I can go to Washington, almost run as an outsider to Washington. I can go to Washington and run government well there, too.
Jim DeFede, always good to get your insight on this. Thank you very much. And tonight at 11, you'll hear from the former governor. CBS 4's Summer Knowles spoke with him just moments ago, and she'll have much more on today's announcement. That's tonight at 11. And stay with CBS 4 and CBSMiami.com for continuing coverage of Jeb Bush's potential run for president.